Hello everyone. Sometimes the patients who call are surprised when I pick up the phone myself. And I say, hello, this is Oytun. And they're just surprised because they say they were expecting my secretary to pick up the phone. Well, you don't need to be surprised. We now have the cell phones. This is why there are cell phones. We have them to ease the communication. If you're trying to reach a doctor, it is best to reach over the cell phone directly. This is the best way. This is how it should be. Now the secretaries are only arranging their epilation appointments. I think it makes more sense to call the doctor right away, directly, to make an appointment. Unfortunately, I don't understand my colleagues. Sometimes appoint a nurse or a secretary to answer the calls, they become unreachable. Well, I really have a hard time understanding this. Patients should be able to reach the doctor directly. They should ask the doctor what they want to know. And if they have any trouble after the operation, they should contact the doctor right away, directly. But they appoint a nurse or an assistant to answer anything related to the doctor. This is really ridiculous to me. We have something called cell phone. I don't understand why we cannot use it properly. On the other hand, there is also this. It is natural that the patients call and consult whenever they want. However, on the other hand, truly sometimes things happen that I'm annoyed with, and that's why I have prepared this video. For instance, one of the things that I'm most annoyed about, the probability questions. Look, it's like a mad headline. So it's really scary. Probability questions, the patient calls over the phone and they say, I'm thinking about having a surgery, etc., etc. Then they say this striking sentence, I wonder if I should have one surgery. I had the surgery after 3 months, how will it be? I have a wedding next year. Will it recover by then? Is it this way or that way? What if it happens? What if that happens? These type of questions. I mean, I haven't seen the patient yet. I don't know the patient. I don't know anything about them. I don't know whether they are suitable or not. They say to me, what happens after the operation? These are the endless possibilities. These patients must feel I'm nervous over the phone. I can't find anything to say for a while. I mean, how can I explain without offending the patient? Then I say, I have told many patients this. What are you asking me is a possibility. We don't know if this will happen or not. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if you're suitable for the surgery or not. These are the possibilities. If you think about all of these possibilities have other possibilities. There are lots of probabilities. And there are lots of outcomes. If we start talking about these, we could talk about these topics over 8 months. There are millions of possibilities. How should I know? I mean, don't ask me about these possibilities. Not to me, to any doctor don't ask these questions. Go and get examined. He already tells you what might happen. Doctor will tell you approximate possibilities. He says, surgery will provide good results or you're not very suitable. Am I clear? So you need to be examined first. I mean, this is it. That is how it should be. You need to be examined first. Without the examination, without seeing over the phone, you cannot have a result. There's no end to it. If we start talking about these possibilities, we have to talk about this over 8 months. There's no such thing. Indeed, there are lots of patients whom I become angry with and shout over the phone. Then they say, I'm sorry, you are right, or something like that. You cannot think about it. How can I answer these questions before the patient? It's not possible. Possibility questions are the questions that I'm most annoyed with. I'm shocked over the phone. Anyway, don't ask possibility anymore. This is the first thing. And the second thing is the issue of guarantee. Patients love to get guarantees. Doctor, is there a guarantee for this surgery? Do you have a guarantee for that? What guarantee? Where is the guarantee? The guarantee is given in white goods store in the automotive sector. So you vote in the elections, let's say. Does the party who come in power give you a guarantee that they will be a good government? No, they don't. But you give the country to them. However, when you come to the doctor, you ask for a guarantee. In medicine, guarantee does not exist. This is not possible. Why? Because in our lives, there is something called complications. What does complication mean? The unwanted outcomes after the surgery. What are those problems occurring without our intent? The patient's wound healing may be impaired. How should we know this? Body of people may differ. The stitches may tear. Recently, this happened with one of my patients. All of the stitches of my patients were torn. We also called the patient. The stitches again were discharged. And then he came back. We did the stitches again. But again, these stitches were opened up. So this person had a definitely wound healing problem. How can I give a guarantee to this? So you cannot guarantee to anyone. There are constitutional differences between people. So people are all different. What happened to that patient, you ask? Well, if a stitched wound tears up 3 times, still cannot heal, you will leave that wound to its healing naturally. Yes, the wound closed up at last. However, after all this, there was a bad-shaped scar on that. I told the patient that we would reconsider the mark after 9 months or later. Maybe we will take that off and stitch it. Look, infection can happen at the surgical site. Stitches can be opened. The illness may not be edematous. Edema sometimes in patients is hard to heal. These are all called complications. In a universe where there are huge possibilities, you cannot give guarantee because there's complications. You know what I mean? But sometimes patients ask for guarantees. I'm telling these examples to them, and this time they curl the subject and ask again, without including the word guarantee. They always find a way to ask, for God's sake. He says, Doctor, we will not encounter complications, right? We will not experience anything bad about the surgery, right? And I say, no, we may encounter a problem. What should I say? There's always a possibility of complication. No guarantees about the surgeries. If a doctor is giving a guarantee, he is lying. That's it. First of all, there is a form that you have signed. By signing that form, you accept that you know the possibility of complications and accept the doctor has informed you. You should not ask for guarantees. You cannot do that. You cannot undergo surgery without signing the consent form. What does the consent form mean? It means that the doctor has informed the patient about this, and they have informed them about the complications, and they're all detailed. Nevertheless, there might be some complications that is not written there. For instance, the patient might have a special condition. There might be an enzyme insufficiency. The dressing of the wound that the surgical area may not be recovered as expected. I used to read in anesthesia magazines at the faculty. In fact, I read all of the magazines from different branches. But I don't forget one article that I read in an anesthesia magazine. They are taking a patient to surgery. This is a surgery to be performed under narcosis. Vascular access is established. Serum is applied. So, angiocat was used while putting on serum, something plastic. It has a needle in. You provide the vascular access. The needle is withdrawn. Only the plastic pen remains. As soon as the vascular access is opened, the patient goes into shock. It's a serious shock. The patient has survived in the end. But you know what happens when the case is examined? The patient is allergic to plastic. When the vascular path is open, the plastic entering in that vein triggers the allergy and the man is about to die. The surgery of the patient was later performed without using a plastic, according to the article. They may have used a needle instead of an angioket, a metal needle. They might have inserted the serum into a vein like that, but they shouldn't have used the gloves either. I'm very curious how they solved the problem. It was not written in that article, for example. As a result, the patient who was operated without any plastic. But listen, this is something really rare, once in a million. But it happened, but he was good. In the end, he survived. His surgery was successful and it was done without any plastic. But in the end, do not ask for a guarantee. I tell the patient who asks me for a guarantee over the phone, we cannot give you any guarantee. In our book, the word guarantee does not exist. Therefore, I say if you want a guarantee, and if there is a doctor who gives you a guarantee, go to that doctor for the surgery. The doctor will look at your face and lie to you because there's no guarantee. You sign the consent form, you accept the possibilities of complications, and at the same time you are waiting for guarantees. Don't be fooled. I had an accident years ago, then it comes to my mind, I think it was around 2002, 2003. A case of a nose surgery. A revision was needed in the boy's surgery. It can be in nose aesthetics. It was about 10% on average. 1 out of 10 comes back to you. This is the world's average, so it could be even more. But one of the 10 cases of the doctors who do the best surgery in the world is going to a revision. A boy had come to me in the clinic. He came alone, but with a boy I have never seen before. He came with a friend. We talked about the possibility of revision. We said, okay, there's a problem. Let's fix this, a second surgery. And he told me that I had given a guarantee. And I asked him when. But he said, you had given me a guarantee. That's not possible. I know that I never give guarantee because the word guarantee in my book does not exist. And if a patient says to me, you have given me a guarantee, then they are lying. Since I have started this profession, I never used the word guarantee. And I have mentioned it about more than 100 times. The boy brought his friend with him. I think he brought his friend as a witness. He is trying to get something from me. He thinks that I will say that I supposedly gave a guarantee. And I will say there was a problem, right? You know what I mean? And he will go and complain. That was what he was thinking. The boy made many tricks to hear the word guarantee from me. He said, but you said you give me a guarantee and things like that. I said, are you kidding me? There's no such word in my dictionary. Giving guarantee to the patient is not on my dictionary. It never happened. And from now on, it will never give guarantee to anyone. Because this is the realistic thing. There is a possibility of complications for everyone. There are many complications in this universe. Therefore, no guarantee can be given. That's it. That's so simple. The patient brought his friend to be the witness, and then we could go complain about the doctor. He was an idiot. I have to be clear. They made many tricks by looking into my eyes. I was telling those to the patients, and they still ask, doctor, there will be no problem, right? Are you sure? And I say, there could be. You know what I mean? You have to be realistic. Please, neither bother me or don't bother other doctors as well. If there can be any doctor who's giving a guarantee, they are lying. If you have complications, then you can come back and ask for a guarantee. Even if there is no complication, you are lucky. It means you recovered without any problem. Let me finish the subject. Also, there are people who call me by trading materials these days. They call me and they say, hey doctor, we are looking for filler. We are looking for a filler of 10,000 boxes of this brand. We will send it to northern Iraq. We will send it to Syria. Illegal trade. They want the doctor to buy these products. Then they buy these products from the doctors and they sell it illegally to Iraq or Syria. We don't do such a thing. They see it on my website. It is available at estetikcerrahi.com. It is on cosmeticcerrahi.com, and there are many pages about filler and Botox there. There are many promotions. When they see them, they think we are trading all of them. They think that we are the representative of Alibaba in Turkey. There are promotions about all the fillers there, so we don't trade or do the trading. We are the practitioners of them. I'm a doctor. I don't trade. Don't ask for me 10,000 boxes of Botox or 15,000 boxes of this brand fillers. Somebody called me today, something that happened today. The woman says to me, I'm looking for a silicone prosthesis. It is around 325 cc. And I asked, Madam, what do you want? She said, I'm asking for breast enlargement. Then the question you have to ask is that, do you perform breast augmentation surgery? You may come and get examined. Then we decide on the prosthesis during the examination. We decide on a few dye and additions. Then we could perform the surgery. But she directly asks me about the silicone prosthesis. I'm looking for 335cc menthol silicone prosthesis, as if she's going to put that by herself. This is ridiculous. I really wonder if she will buy and have it done to someone else, because they have to ask if I do the surgery. And then I will say, yes, I do. Then we will have the examination. This is the way how it goes. We really inform the patients, but I have doubts whether it's correct or wrong. Sometimes the patient thinks that he or she can learn a lot and do it at home or have it another doctor do it so that it's cheaper. Previously, when I was in Zonguldak, a patient came to me like that. She came and said, what's the price of the Botox? I said the amount. She said, no, you got me wrong. I asked about the cost of injection. How so? I said. She said, I have the Botox. She brought it with her. I asked, where is it? She opened her bag, took out the Botox, flacon brand. I said, where did you get this from? She said, from the pharmacy. At that time, pharmacies were selling Botox in those years. Now it's banned. It's sold only to the special doctors. The patient bought the Botox from the pharmacy and put it in her bag. She did not keep it in the cold environment. She traveled for many days with Botox in her bag. The Botox burned, boiled dead. And it is a product that should be kept in the cold. She says, I have Botox. I will only pay for the injection. Really ridiculous. Don't ask these things to the doctors. This kind of products are for expert use. They must be transported in the cold chain. The application has a fee. Don't come to the doctor by saying, I will have Botox against a fee of injection, as if you are having an antibiotic injection in your butt. I mean, this is really ridiculous. Then you will have some problems. She goes to the hairdresser for Botox. It's not clear what they do there. And after that, we watch it on the news as a disaster. By the way, there was a patient who called me previously. The patient had a filling on the tip of the chin somewhere. She says, I have now learned that this is biopolymer. When I searched over the internet, I came across your site. What can we do with that? I said, where did you get the biopolymer? She said that the doctor applied it. I don't understand why they apply biopolymero. This is actually a liquid silicone. It is prohibited. It has been banned and it's not approved by FDA. And I think, as far as I know, it is banned since 80s. It swells like a drum. It causes allergy and there's a flux occurring. The patient has to spend his life with antibiotics and anti-inflammatory drugs because you cannot fully remove it. It spreads into the tissue. It's very difficult to dispatch it. If you look at the Google and look for the images, you will see the images. So if you do this, you will get problem. And I asked her, didn't you know? She said, I never asked. Now it came to my mind. Search for it. First, search and learn. Do not try to have a cheap filler. Don't call the doctor and say, I have a filler in my back and I will only pay for the injection. Then you will have trouble. Go to the specialist doctor, have a research, and learn what the doctor will use as a filler. Investigate it. Don't get into trouble. After that, don't say, I'm in trouble, I've got it once, blah, blah, blah. Because the damage is done then. I told the patient, I said I wouldn't touch the filler because that filler does not appear. To remove it, you need to cut it out with the tissue. So you need to cut out the tissue. For instance, go over the internet, search for the images. You know what you will find? You will see the swollen part of the lip together. It's not removed otherwise. It comes out with the tissue. Anyways, this is one of the things that makes me really angry. I mean, I'm sorry, I pity these patients. Investigate it from the beginning, which filler is applied, is it good or bad. After that, do not have a regret. There's also problems with phones and calls. For instance, the man is calling me at 3 a.m. at night, especially via WhatsApp. I put a note telling them not to call at night. I guess this helped. Night calls decreased, but recently at 3 a.m. somebody called me. I did not ask him why did he call, and I told him, brother, are you calling the doctor at 3 a.m.? Please hang up the phone and call me tomorrow. I said, tomorrow in the afternoon we could talk. At 3 a.m. you cannot call your doctor at 3 a.m. You don't even call your friend at 3 a.m. And apart from these people, now there is less and less, there are people who used to call and make me a missed call and then close the phone. You cannot spend 2 cents over the phone. You cannot have these kind of surgeries. And previously, there was something called paid call. It rings, you open it up. It says this is a paid call. Once you approve it, you will be connected to the other party. I mean, I'll give the money for the phone call. So please, you must be kidding, I guess. Anyway, that pay call hasn't been coming in for a long time. But there are still those who shut the phone after the missed call. They are waiting for me to call back. I don't have such a habit. However, if I'm expecting a very important phone, then I would call them back. That's it. If I'm expecting a call. But normally, I don't call the other side. It is really ridiculous. Anyway, there were the things that disturbed my mind the most. Let me talk about these issues. My most important request from you, I would like to ask. 1, don't ask for possibilities. We haven't seen or examined the patient yet. I have no idea whether it'll be good or not. You have no ideas, and don't ask me for about possibilities. If you ask for possibilities, I swear to you, I will hang up the phone. And the second thing is the question of guarantee. We have no guarantee here. I say it officially here. We have no guarantee here. I will write this note on the office door. No guarantees here. So if any doctor will give you a guarantee, go to that doctor. Do you know what I mean? Fool yourself. What can I say? Whatever. Thanks for watching and hope to see you soon. Goodbye.